Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video, another race video. As always, thanks for joining me. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, go and watch all my other content after this if you aren't already, especially the race videos if this is your first. And if you really want to help my channel out, you can always become a patron. That is massively appreciated. Got a little treat for the patrons coming out soon. I've got a little video talking to you guys, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, another race video. I do enjoy making them. They're easy to make and they are fun, I think. I like it. I like the interaction we have when you guys are betting on who you think is going to win. It's a lot of fun. So I wanted to go to Scotland for a while. It's been on my race list and a lot of you have asked. I've got a lot of love for Scotland. My granddad was Scottish. So was his dad and his dad and his dad. My family come from Ayr. My surname is Scottish. So yeah, I like them. I used to work there as well for quite a while. So it's about time we headed there and had a bit of fun. But with all my previous race videos, so what have I done? Champions League, Premier League, Serie A and Bundesliga, we've had set rules and they've been exactly the same. And those rules are going to be exactly the same on this one. Until I ran it and then realised it couldn't be. I've had to make a few tweaks and changes and hopefully you'll understand why when I explain it. So I think I'm going to explain that before I talk about the teams I've chosen. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm guessing there's a new sponsor in Scotland. Is it Kinch or Cinch? Let me know in the comments because I don't really know. So right, I picked my 4 teams and they're going to be starting at tier 3. So the Division 1 basically. And I ran the simulation. I set it up like I do with every other race. And one team got promoted. First year in the Premiership, won it. So it was over in 3 years. And it made me realise the difference with this. And this is no offence to Scotland, but it's a much weaker footballing league and structure compared to everything else I've done so far. So with the other ones, even though these teams are coming from the depths upwards, I'm giving them loads of finances to race it out, to try and win the race and win that target of whatever trophy it is. But once they get into them top flight leagues, they're competing with big teams already who've got money to match them. So it's tougher and it can take years and years and years. If you do it in Scotland, like I found out, once that team got in the Premier League straight away, it can just outspend everyone. And the only 2 teams that could get anywhere near them are Rangers and Celtic, and they're miles off. So it just was over way too quick. So what I've done is, you might have noticed this, is I've kind of had to change a few things. So the first thing I did was increase the Premier League's, or Premiership, sorry, reputation. It's about 135. I've changed it to 160. You can see there it's better than League One. So it's at 160, just to help these teams maybe get a head start over the race teams, maybe make the league stronger for them when they finally get there, hopefully. Now with Rangers and Celtic, their rep's about 6,800. It's the same. I've upped that to 8,000. Right, the race teams are 9,000. So I've given them a boost. I've removed everyone's debt in the league. Everyone's got money, everyone's got some commercial income coming in. Not as much as the race teams, but it's very high to make it a stronger league. So it's going to be 2 years before any of the race teams get there. I'm hoping the league will be in a much better place and we'll get a few more years out of it. And we do. Although it's still the shortest race ever. But I don't care because it was still a lot of fun to see what happened. Now I've also, and I've never done this before, just to see what happens, is I removed the managers of all the race teams. So they start this with no manager, just to go out there straight out of the blocks and try and get a top manager and go for it. I just thought that'd be a bit more interesting. Now if it is new, quickly, each team has about 800 million. They have about 250 million a year guaranteed coming in commercial income. They have maxed out training facilities. They all have the same ticket and season ticket prices. I don't change the stadiums where the fans or the players or anything. We'll let all that go naturally. I just want them to try and produce good players quickly. Have the money to bring players in. And as you can see, the 4 top teams are the teams I've chosen, and there's reasons for that. Now, there's loads of great teams at the lower levels. I did think about going lower, but I've not, because I like these teams for different reasons, and this is why. And the first team I chose was FALKIRK. Now, when I was a little lad, obviously I spent a lot of time in Scotland, like I said earlier, and my dad bought me a FALKIRK shirt. I remember it being really navy, it had like a circular collar. I loved it. I didn't even know who they were really, but I loved it and I never took it off. And I know it was 1990 because that's the year I started high school. Yes, I'm old. And we went for like a day out trip to school and we could wear non-uniform, and I wore my FALKIRK shirt with pride. But back then Nowadays, you see people wearing all sorts of shirts, but back then, I don't think anyone really did. And I walked into my new school, walking around proud as punch, and two big lads, 5th years or year 11s, whatever you want to call them now, came up to me and was like, "Who the FALKIRK?" And then like loads of people were laughing at me for wearing it, but do you know what? I didn't care. I was always really chuffed with that. I wish I still had it. I wouldn't fit in it, but I've always remembered FALKIRK because he had their shirt. Anyway, so they play at the FALKIRK Stadium, which is pretty cool in a way. If you went to it at one side, you'd think, wow, this is a super stadium. They've got this amazing stand. Just don't go around the back. Stay there and you'll think we're awesome. It's just short of 8,000 capacity, so it'll be cool to see because it's pretty new. Will they improve it or will they move on again? And I also, like I told you, no manager, so I can't wait to see what kind of managers they can get in straight away. The other reason I chose them is because they've got a decent history. They've won 2 Scottish Cups, which I think is fantastic. I mean, this league has been dominated now for so long by the old firm. You know, back in the day, Scottish football used to be a bit different, so yeah, that got them in as well. Next up, it had to be Queen's Park, just because obviously they're in Glasgow. They've got the 2 big teams above them. I think they've recently become professional as well. There's a lot of change there, aren't they? They used to own Hampden Park, the national stadium. I think they've sold it to the Scottish FA for what I heard was 5 million. I might be wrong, that's what I read online, which I think sounds pretty bloody cheap, to be fair. So they've sold that, but they've still got Lesser Hampden, which is a little stadium nearby, like a training stand. It's crap, little turdy stadium. But apparently they're going to be regenerating it. I couldn't find many cool pictures online, but they're going to be doing that up, which I think is fantastic. So hopefully they can kick on and grow and grow and grow. That away kit though, wow, does that hurt your eyes? It hurts my eyes every time I see it. So they do play at Lesser Hampden, but I think that's being generated, so at the minute they're playing somewhere else, I think. That's what I read online as well, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm really hoping these do well because I do like Queen's Park. And of course they're getting into it because they've won 10 Scottish Cups. How goes that? I mean, I thought maybe back in the day, in the early days, they might have won a league title, but they never did. But that is still a fantastic achievement, isn't it? Next up, I chose Dumbarton. Now they play at the C&G System Stadium, which don't look great. So hopefully they can improve the club, build a new one, and grow and grow. That'd be quite exciting. I picked them for a couple of reasons though. One is because they play in black and yellow, and I love a bit of black and yellow. You probably know that if you're a long time subscriber. But the main reason I picked the Suns is because they won the top flight league many years ago, and according to Football Manager, Rangers won the first one, they won the second one. Wow, I think that's freaking absolutely awesome. So yeah, Dumbarton are in because they were champions once. And then last but not least, I chose CLYDE. Again, quite like the kits. They play at the Broadwood Stadium, 8,000 capacity, and don't look like a bad little stadium to me. And the Bully Wee, what a nickname that is, eh? I love that. They've got a decent history as well. That's what's got them in. They've won 3 Scottish Cups. So can they all add to these? That'd be fantastic. What are they all going to achieve? I don't know. But the main goal is, like I always say, the race. And the race is to win the Scottish Premiership. They can win, like I said before, 3, 4, 5 Champions Leagues. But they won't win the race until someone wins the Premiership. So I nearly did choose Montrose as well, to be fair. And there's loads of teams I could have gone for. And there's probably going to be someone in the comments saying, I can't believe you didn't pick this one. But I nearly chose Montrose because there's a famous Duke of Montrose and he was a Graham. My granddad used to tell me that story. I nearly went down to this league, Cowdenbeath. I worked near there. I thought Edinburgh City would be quite cool, maybe. But I just felt like I wanted teams I quite knew about, or they've got this history like Dumbarton winning a league, or FALKIRK with my kit, stuff like that. So that's what I've decided. That's what it is. And like I always say, get involved in the comments right now. Why not? Let's see who you think is going to win. Pick a team, and then when you get to the end of the video, we'll see if you're right or not. I love that. It's a bit of fun. So jump forward 1 year now. We're going to have a quick look at things to see how it's going, because only 2 teams could have got out of it, out of the 4. So someone's going to get a head start, aren't they? And it's going to be Queen's Park because they're the only team. Queen's Park won the league, FALKIRK came second, then CLYDE. So let's start with Dumbarton quickly, just to see what managers have brought in. And they brought in Gattuso. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? CLYDE have brought in, is it Mikel? He's been manager of Marseille, Pumas, Malaga, I think, as well. So he's got some pedigree. FALKIRK, Picked up Pirlo. I know he didn't do great at Juventus, but you know, when you think at this level, he's a bit of a legend, isn't he? That's quite cool. I like that a lot. Queen's Park, who won the league, they picked up, is it Abelardo? Wasn't he manager of Alves, I think? Some other teams as well. So yeah, decent pedigree as well. Can he take them all the way? Will he still be in charge at the very end? No idea. And just in case you're wondering, that first league was won by Rangers, so that means they've gone back to back. And obviously they've got money. So has everyone else in this league. Like I said, I think I give Rangers Celtic about 400 million each and about 150 million commercial income. The rest of the teams, I give about 200 million each and about 100 million commercial income. So they can all grow and grow. Let's move on to year 2 now. And Queen's Park have gone straight up again. Fair play to them. They are not messing about. Now, I didn't think they would be the team that got straight out of the blocks. I imagine they'd be more on the back foot because I think they've only just turned professional. But maybe the manager's working, they made the right signings. We'll look at all that at the end. I mean, I thought FALKIRK could come out first, I'll be honest with you. And if we drop down to League One, wow. CLYDE have won it. Dumbarton have gone up, or they're going to be in the playoffs. FALKIRK. What's going on? Oh, wow. I'll be honest with you, I want FALKIRK to do it, but it's not looking good for them, is it? And quickly, let's just see the manager situation. Abelardo still there at Queen's Park. CLYDE still have Michel. It's got to be Michel, surely. Dumbarton still got Gattuso. No one's pulling the trigger yet. Maybe FALKIRK might. Nope, they've still got Pirlo. So they believe in him. And again, I like keeping tabs on this because this is the one in it. Rangers have won it again. So if you're a Rangers fan, your team's doing pretty well. So now I've jumped forward to year 6. It is the 1st of June 2027. And we've got a winner. And that's what I mean. I mean, it's quick compared to others. But not as quick as the first run. I'll be honest with you, wow, 3 years it was done and dusted. So, as always, we're going to start off with the team I think finished last. And it was FALKIRK, who do find themselves in the Premiership. And as you can see, have just finished 3rd in the Premiership and still have Pirlo as the manager. So they never really got to any finals or anything, really. I mean, they've not long been in the Premiership, to be fair. They finally got promoted out of League One and they did win the Championship. And that's it. Let's have a quick check-in on the graph. And we started here and they finished 2nd, didn't they, FALKIRK? Didn't go up. Finished 2nd again and didn't go up. That's pretty unlucky, to be fair. Stuck with the manager, though, won the league the next year, straight up the next year. Then they finished 5th and they've just currently finished 3rd. And to be fair, they stayed with the manager. He's been there 5 years, nearly 6 years, 2 league wins. Yeah, I'm a bit gutted, to be fair. Because they're in a lot of years to get through, let's run through the transfers. I don't often do this, but they spent 7 million that first year, 7 million again. Then they didn't spend a lot there, did they? A few cheapies and a loan. Then they spent 44 million. Wow, is that the first year they went up? 330 million, that might be the first year they went up. Wowzers. Wow. Check some of them values out. Look at some of the players they've signed. Gavi for 52 million. Wow. I mean, if it went on and on and on, this would be fun. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not mentioning it yet if you're new, what I always do is if you check the description of any of my race videos, is I put the save file for the start of the race. I might put the save file for this bit, if you want to jump in at this bit and have some fun in this league. If you're a Scottish football fan but it gets boring, you could maybe have some fun, especially with Gavi in your team. Wow. Anyway, last season I think this is, yeah, 23 million so far. So yeah, FALKIRK finished last. So finishing 3rd, I've chosen Dumbarton, who's still got Gattuso as their manager as well. I've chosen them though because it was hard really. 2nd and 3rd, not really much to choose from, so you've got to go down to the little list of details. And the reason they've come 3rd is obviously they went up through the leagues and they got to the Premier Sports Cup final and lost it. So because they reached the final, that's the reason they're above FALKIRK. Let's have a look at Dumbarton's graph, and of course they finished 7th. The following year they finished 3rd but got promoted. Unlike FALKIRK. Then they went straight up when they got into the Championship, and then they finished 7th in the Premiership, 4th, and they've just finished 2nd, so that is definite progression. So then when we look at the manager history, I didn't realise that, because when we jumped to year 4, I just assumed Gattuso was the first man they brought in, but he wasn't. They brought in Frank, and he didn't last long. Obviously the caretaker, and then they brought in Gattuso. Right, fair enough. And he stayed on ever since. Some loyalty, that, innit? Again, let's quickly run through some of the money they've spent. 750, 22 million, 96 million pounds. I love it. It's Scotland, it's brilliant. And then 200, wow, that's a big year. Leon Bailey, look at that. I like this. I like it a lot. I can't lie. I love seeing Scotland do well. I love seeing Scottish football have money. 281. Bloody hell. Buying players off Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United. And they've spent 195 so far this year. They love buying players off United, don't they? A couple off Rangers. God, Rangers must be absolutely minted. Look who that is. So Rangers must have bought him off Dortmund. Wow, that's cool. So like I say, whenever I show you the second place team, you know who's won the race. But before we look at the winners and see what's happened with them, which is pretty cool to be fair, this is a team I've chosen to finish runners up. Even though this season they finished the lowest out of all the 4 race teams, they finished in 6th. And the reason they finished runners up is because compared to the other teams, because I know we have the race and it's all about winning that thing, but when it comes to the other teams, I have to use something to put them in order, and it's always what they've achieved in other competitions. And they got to 2 Scottish Cup finals back to back and lost them both. Onto Clyde's graph, and as we know, they finished 3rd, didn't go up, but they did win the league the next year, League One. Then they finished 3rd in the Championship, but got promoted straight up to 5th, down to 6th, and 6th again. And I love this as well. All this loyalty with these managers. I wonder why. Because in all the other race videos, we have tons of them. Even when, and I know we're not years into it yet, as much as some of the others. Some of the others are going to 33 or 2037 and stuff. But I like that. Let's look at the money they spent over the last 6 years. So they spent 6 million the first year, only $500,000 the year after. Then they spent 38 million. Wow, some good teams there. Then they spent 265. Woohoo! I can't lie, I love it. Dembele. Oh, this is brilliant. Plays off City, Dortmund, United. But United are making some money out of these Scottish teams. Wow. And then they spent 75 million, 61 million. So, of course, Queen's Park are the winners. And I will be honest, I didn't think they would be. I thought FALKIRK could win it. I thought Queen's Park would be on the back foot just because of where they were starting from. But they're not. And they're playing at Hampden Park because Lesser Hampden is being renovated. So they've gone back to their old home while the newish home is getting an upgrade. They have been pretty successful, like proper successful, and I wonder why they just excelled. I know they went up really quickly. Was it the manager and just the players they signed? But once they got up, they got to the Scottish Cup final, lost it. Then they won the Premier Sports Cup. Then they won the Scottish Cup. Now this year, they nearly did a treble. They won the league, so they won the race. They got beat in the cup final, which is devastating. But we've seen what else they won at the very top. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. Genuinely could not believe that. Definitely the most impressive graph. It's got to be at Queen's Park. Obviously, they got promoted the year earlier. That's pretty cool. Into League One, where we started the race, and they won it straight away. Won the Championship straight away. And then they've had a great progression, 6. And then check this out. 2nd and 2nd, and then they've won it this year. So they nearly did it really quickly. How close were Queen's Park? This was their first season when they finished 2nd, and they only missed out on a point behind Rangers. The following season they finished 2nd again. This time there's a bit more of a distance there, and it's 7 points. But then this year it's been a total reversal, not just for them but for everyone. It's all down to this man. 3 league wins, 4 cup wins. Some manager is Abelardo, isn't he? So what kind of money did they spend? Well, they only spent 2.6 that first year, but they won that league, didn't they? Then they spent 8.75, won the league again, and then they've been in the Premiership ever since. Straight away started spending big money. I mean, 306 million. The next year, 368 million. Look at this. I mean, Anthony Martial on a free. Bloody hell. And then 300 million. You can see why they've just not messed about, have they? Queen's Park, the difference, getting up there and then just spending big money. And I mean, the reputation of all the teams is the same. They just didn't mess about, did they? Wow. I mean, you would never see this happen in Scotland, but it's nice to see it happen. let's look at the history of all the competitions quickly. And this is the Premiership. Rangers won the first two. Celtic got one back. Rangers went back to back again. And then, of course, Queen's Park have won it with Dumbarton, runners-up, and Falkirk finishing third. If this did carry on, if you download the end save file, I'm pretty sure they're going to start dominating. On to the Scottish Cup. And, of course, we had a few teams being runners-up. CLYDE was one of them. Queen's Park, runners-up twice. Unfortunately, getting beat off Aberdeen and Celtic. They won it the year before, last year, but if they had just beat Celtic, they'd been treble winners. That would have been perfect. On to the Premier Sports Cup, and of course, this is the League Cup in it. Rangers got the first one. Celtic, Hibernian, Rangers, Queen's Park picked one up. That was just completely unexpected. And what's brilliant is look where they won it, at the Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, against Juventus, who were the champions. So we're going to look at the best 11 for each team, and I'm also going to reveal, even though we've gone through the transfers, how much each team spent to achieve what they achieved and to finish last. Falkirk spent around 412 million, which is an insane amount of money for any Scottish team. And I will reveal possibly the reason why I thought Falkirk would do it is when I did the first test and just gave the 4 race teams the money. Falkirk got promoted straight into the Premiership and won it. 3 years it took. On to Dumbarton, and to finish third, they spent twice as much money as Falkirk. And I will say as well, no club had any funding pulled. A lot of the time, clubs get the funding pulled. No one's funding got pulled. Maybe it would happen eventually, but it hadn't. And Dumbarton spent 825 million. The runners-up, CLYDE, well, they spent the same as Falkirk. So you don't need to spend tons and tons of money. Belly up top there, I think that is absolutely amazing. They spent 446 million. But it's quite often the case with these things, the team that does spend the most usually wins the race. And Queen's Park, I mean, generally thought they were going to be bottom. I'll be honest with you, just because of where they were coming from originally, the foundations of what they were building on. And I don't know why. I have no idea why, but they just had a spending spree. They have gone for it. And fair play to them, because not only did they win the league, they won the Champions League, didn't they? They won some Scottish Cups as well, which is insane. But to do that, they spent 1.4 billion. So there we go, that is the end to race to the Scottish Premiership. Congratulations to Queen's Park. If you did pick them in the comments, fair play, because I didn't. So you're a better man than me. You know, you football more than I do. But you never know with these things. That's the beauty of it. Some of them, teams have won the races you just never expected to win. And that's why it's just a bit of fun. It's a bit different, innit? And I like doing it. I might do a couple more. I keep saying that. I don't know what, though. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments. I am thinking of doing a Battle of Britain. I've done that once before. We'll see. But if you've got another good idea and it inspires me, I will credit you if I do it. So let me know in the comments. Again, if you ever go with any of these races, let me know in the comments how it gets on. Just check the download links in the description. Thanks for anyone who's hit the thumbs up and commented and subscribed. But like I always say, it's just the view that matters the most. Just sitting here and watching it to the very end and supporting me. It's massively, massively appreciated. Right then, I've got to go to work, which I can't be arsed with. Hopefully I can get this made tonight and get it out tomorrow morning for you, hopefully. So stay happy, stay safe, and booed. Bye-bye.